It's like we never left. Hello again, everybody. For those who are watching before, I've just got rid of my little tree house thingy off there before I started the stream. Only really because I wasn't overly sure what I was building it for. I might come back to it. Who knows? However, for now I kind of need to build this middle area up, and by middle area what I'm planning, or vaguely planning, is I'm going to kind of use the edge of this part of the claim I'm in now, most of the middle claim area, to kind of have like this sort of smallish even set of structures. And then I'll go about creating slightly bigger sized buildings around them. And then we'll go through and paint the world. Ooh. So yeah, I do keep an eye on the Twitch chat, so I do always answer questions where possible. I don't necessarily always type them out, but I do try and answer them on stream with voice as much as possible. So here we go. So the next thing I want to make is something for the sawmill. Now, I kind of made like this very little hut over there for the forge, but I kind of want to make like a different sort of style for the sawmill. It's kind of got to be made out of wood. I think it'd be a bit mean not to. I'm thinking somewhere over here. Possibly move this tree out the way. So I park it up on here. Then I can still have some trees around it. It's flat-ish. Very flat-ish. Fits, I kind of had to move, unfortunately. I was getting a rather horrific bug over on the desert where I would just get like this really bold red filter all the time on the screen, and it was getting so annoying, it was driving me mad. So I've moved to a grassy area. I'm still on tableland, I'm just a little bit further south than I used to be. Because I don't get the issue here, so it's something to do with the lighting with the desert. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, it was annoying the hell out of me. To give you an idea, I was all the way up here. I was literally here, in the middle of this valley area, and I suspect there's something still remaining there, because it looks like it's left something where I've been. It's not foreboding at all. And now I'm all the way down here. Da da da. Have another abandoned area off to the side. which I may go and explore and or demolish. But for now, we shall begin building. Thinking possibly having it more or less there and having a set of stairs running sideways down it on here to get you onto the level of the land. So yeah, this could all go horribly wrong because one of the things I'm very conscious about is the fact that I'm effectively building this lengthways along a really big valley. So I don't want to break the shape of the land too much, but at the same time I kind of need decent sized buildings. So we might kind of might actually end up going up into the trees anyway at some point. But for now, I'm gonna get just some basic buildings down, just so I can kind of have homes for the various crafting stations. People think I'm nuts doing this, by the way. It's only flush on the one side, so there could be some smoothing about to be abused in game at some point. Always fun watching you lot figure out who's who when you're not in game. Speaking of guild stuff, I've just got that. I'm trying to remember what the name of the song is, but ever since one of you guys, buddy, linked to the Volvo truck thing with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I've had that song stuck in my head. Just grr. When are we gonna do the guild dig with Dynamite Knight? Probably somewhere near the end of Alpha. I would probably say to do that, just so it doesn't matter then if people are just like using up mountains of dynamite, because you're gonna lose it anyway, and it doesn't matter if you completely destroy the world because it'll be reset anyway. So, assuming they don't announce things sooner, which I don't think they will at this point. But yeah. Yeah, if you hear me starting to it's like grr. The that's been one of the things that's been put on hold for a little while, but it's something we want to do as soon as SOE Moat comes into game. Just because it's like if you can just replicate the Knights of the Round Table song, that'd be a little bit nuts. Yeah, I always say, I mean, at least to you guys in the guild who are watching, just post like random ideas and stuff like that you've got on the forums. Just because we can kind of bounce the ideas backwards and forwards, and we can probably come up with stuff with them. Hell, it's what they're there for. Sounds like a plan, Batman. I can live with that. Trying to decide which side I should actually build this set of stairs. I was thinking here, but another guild. They're taking over. All your streams all belong to us. You know, this is kind of one of the daft things. It's like there's 7 or 8 people watching this at the minute, and I say maybe that only because I literally can't tell at the minute because Twitch doesn't update properly and hasn't been all day. But probably, if that's accurate, at least half that number is guild members. So you're all nuts. So says the lead. Hey, I'm technically only the leader until we get you guys set up on a council. And then I'll be doing bugger all. Gonna retire to me forest. Do nothing. Anyway, I'd almost turn this into a ramp, but I wouldn't like to try and smooth it. Just because the smoothing tool's a little bit brutal at the minute. Use the yeah, Blood, I can actually see you in game chat as well, mate. You know the funny part of that question you've just put in in-game chat is I could answer it on here, but you wouldn't know for at least 20 seconds or so. To answer your question from Twitch, no, I actually have no idea exactly what the delay is. I don't actually have the stream set up for a delay, so whatever the time it takes for me to see your thing in chat and for me to reply, that's roughly what it is. But that's just Twitch server side. That's not something I'm doing at my end. God, this is a lot of stairs. Woohoo! Stairs. Oops. Miscalculated already. It's all gone wrong and it's only just started. Do do. Right, at least I've got that ready. Butterflies everywhere. My god. You know, you really can just lose your time building this sort of stuff. What was I here for? Yeah. I wouldn't mind, but some people have got far more hours than I have even clocked up in this game so far. And I'm not exactly a slouch when it's come to the number of hours I've chucked into this already. But hey, I can't complain. Yeah. That's the one thing that's that always baffles me, really. Well, not baffles me, but who was it? I mean, the whole streaming thing is it's probably newer than something I'm used to. Because I mean, I remember a day before YouTube. So, so a lot of this stuff's a little bit new, but you know, I suppose like if people enjoy watching stuff, why not? You know what? I actually quite like just having on the squared off section. Do I put it on this little one, or do I leave it? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Yeah, let's put it on this one. Yeah, I can't remember how it came up in chat the other night, but we were talking about like if you had old games that you really wanted to replicate, like just how many of them you could probably replicate in Landmark. And I was thinking, well, at its absolute basic level, any game from like the early 90s would probably replicate almost exactly once you've actually got NPCs that you can customize and stuff. But it's kind of one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing how Sony will tackle as well, because you know, we've been going on about how we've got guild members who have made massive murals with Nintendo stuff on. Now, Nintendo are absolutely well known, especially in gaming, for doing online content. They're ridiculously strict over what content for that goes up on YouTube. Like even really big companies, like if you look at like big online groups that do that sort of content, so you've got the likes of the guys over at Rooster Teeth. They themselves really do want to do a lot of Nintendo content, But Nintendo kind of shoot themselves in the foot because they go, no, you can't put any of that content up. And it's the same if you try and stream it. So it's like if a lot of this sort of stuff suddenly went onto looking pretty much like an exact replica, it would probably get shut down. Like, I am wondering what will happen when I actually do release the Guild Showcase that shows that N64 mural thing that has all the Mario Kart stuff on it. Because it's literally a pixel like for like replica. It's like when you actually step off it, you can't really tell the difference between like the actual N64 art and that. So that's going to be probably nightmarish when that gets released. But yeah, I mean, Sony are going to have that problem far bigger than anyone else, especially if they want this game to take off. So it'll be interesting if you'd effectively just have a complete no-go for certain items, or whether they would even be able to work out like sort of agreements for content and stuff like that. But again, it's a complete unknown because no one really knows how popular Landmark might be. I mean, we're kind of the first step for what's coming in game, and pretty much anyone who plays it really likes it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll take off. But hey, here's hoping. Hello again, Airwalking. I'm almost tempted just to plant another tree here just so that people don't fall off the air. Screw it. Is it too hard to place it flat? Come on. Uh-oh. I can't build this too high up, because this tree is going to get in my way. It's like on a scale of 1 to, holy crap, how hard do you want me to make this roof? Not a perfect shape here, am I? Aww. I was going to do a round roof. However, the fact that I'm not actually doing it off a set size base will make it probably stupidly more complex than it needs to be. So maybe the next one. Lengthwise? Yeah, don't mind me. I do sometimes natter when I'm trying to figure stuff out. It may sound like gibberish, but it makes sense to me. You know, one thing I think they're probably missing with this? For some reason, for specifically what I'm about to do now, I would really love the option to just do a quick rotate on the selection tool. Because you can copy and paste, which would basically do the same thing. But if I wanted to kind of do a couple of different shapes quickly, to be able to just flip it on an axis, would probably be quite useful. Pasted that badly, didn't I? Serves me right for not looking up here. I would love it if it would actually clip the tree consistently for me, because I really don't want it in the way when I'm about to do this. Only because this is monumentally difficult enough as it is. So, before I actually place this, just to kind of give you an idea. Thinking of essentially coming, if you look along the wall, so my bottom place will come towards me, and it will go across this archway here, so it will kind of fill in this space as it comes towards me. Then this section here will attach to this board on here, and then essentially repeat all the way around. So I'm just going to preface this with, I have never tried this way before. It will quite possibly go wrong. Be nice. I also need something bigger than a voxel to stand on as well. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this first just so I can see where the end points of this are. Yeah. Anyone want to place bets on this working right first time? I don't think it'll quite line up with it not being square. But why the hell not? This is gonna make the weirdest shape. It's gonna create like a sort of really bizarre inverted thing when I smooth it out. Yeah, I mean, if anything, the the newer smooth tool should probably actually clean out the monumental imperfections that are appearing on there. Doesn't look like it's doing too bad actually. Joys of testing something live, you never quite know what's going to happen. Yeah, in truth, the fact that I'm using the decent size line tool on this, it should more or less clean out. I won't actually, or I probably won't actually clean it by selecting it and then smoothing it. I'd probably actually do this more freehand than anything else. Because if I try and do it with the selection tool, I think it'll probably distort it more than just clean it out. Yeah, actually, if you're looking at it from underneath, it kind of looks like it's got quite a lot of additional voxels to work with. So it should probably just smooth straight out. I like the idea of having to feed the smoothing tool. Feed it what? Feed it your tears of frustration. This is always the way when you can tell the average age of a guild. Oh well, the average age of a guild member. Because if it's a really young group, there's only really one thing you'll hear about. Boobs! But after a certain point in the average age threshold, and I think our guild is, well, I don't actually, well, some people have said how old they are. I won't embarrass them because some of them are in chat. But yeah, all it becomes is people complaining about their wives, and it's great. It's like, I'm not sure what age that is, that tipping point. This is a really weird shape. Depending on how well this moves will probably depend on if I like it or not. No, by comparison, I'm positively young and vibrant. I'm 29. Escape Reality? I know that name. Hello. Yeah, doesn't like that. Hey, there we go. Quite the internet nuisance. Wow. I wouldn't quite phrase it like that. I'm not gonna disagree. I just wouldn't phrase it like that. Only these joints are going to become problematic when I smooth this. This will probably look horrific when I go back up and look at it, but I need to try and get the additional voxels down from underneath. Just because if they're not there when I smooth anyway, it's just going to create massive holes regardless. This is kind of one of those things where a lot of people can go quite wrong when using the smoothing tool as well. Like, they'll just assume that if they have a vague shape, they can just kind of zip along with the smoothing tool and hey presto, it's nice and neat. It really doesn't work like that 9 times out of 10. Especially the new tool now. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at some of the stuff that's going on in the guild chat, but oh my god. Yeah, you can kind of see, even with me adding in those extra squares underneath, it hasn't made a big change to the shape up on top. Which does make me a little bit more hopeful that it won't completely go to pot when I try and smooth this out now. Also, this bloody tree. So, I can see lots from here. You can come back later when you're good. Woohoo! It doesn't look like it'll be a million miles away when I smooth it out. He says. Woohoo! Look at it go! That actually turned out rather well. I'm a little bit shocked by that. Yeah, there's still a few odd voxels, which I can actually now just clean up by just adding in. But for a first pass, that actually, very surprisingly, didn't completely destroy the roof. See, this is the one thing where the new smoothing tool comes into its own. Can you actually see, although there was a lot more square voxels there, it hasn't actually filled in an entire voxel space. It actually just automatically smoothed it based off the rest of the voxels around it. So it's kind of doing what it should. And you can still go in and re-smooth it. Blood, me and the game have an understanding, which is don't do anything monumentally horrifically bad whilst Chris is live streaming. Do it while I'm not streaming, that's fine. If it does it while I'm streaming, I don't like it. You know what, it is a really, really weird shape, but I like it. Why not? Yeah. Has nothing to do with the fact that I am a little bit shocked it worked first time. It's like as soon as I was placing the blocks out, I was like, it's not gonna work first time. It's just not. But you know, it surprised me. Yeah, I'm not even sure what sort of shape it is. It's just kind of got like a really bizarre arch to it. But if nothing else, you can't exactly say I've used a standard sort of shape to make it. Hmm. Watch this edge completely break now because I'm wanting to place a plank along here. No, no. Again, fair enough. It held the shape. Yeah, the fact that the roof itself is holding its shape actually makes me surprisingly more happy than it probably should. I really was half expecting it to actually just rip the edge of the roof there. Sweet. One roof done. Now, do I smooth out the blocks in here? Or will that completely destroy it? Ah, that's a gap. Yeah, I have a feeling if I try and touch that up anymore, it's just going to start making holes and things. So I think it's probably worth leaving that for now. Oh, there was bound to be something that got screwed. Leave, escape reality. Everyone wave. See you, man. Hey, that's nice. I'm not entirely sure why I wanted that extra little block that seemed to be annoying me. Ah, the chaos. So, just to kind of show people who haven't been around, you can kind of probably guess the big area where there's lots of people with multiple claims up in this top corner, this northeast corner. That's where pretty much most of the guild is right now. I had to move before the world just annoyed the death out of me. Which is, it's kind of one of those things. It's a bug that's in alpha because a combination of both the AMD drivers and the game aren't working so well together for my particular cards. R9 280Xs for the win. Or not, in this case. So yeah, as you can see, I've moved more or less straight east of where the main spawn is. Which I'm surprised there was space. There is actually still space off to the side of me there. Ooh. If people want to come and say hi. Look at that space right there next to me. Prime real estate. Look at that. Space for days. I'm just gonna watch people just suddenly hoard in. Yeah, there's spaces in certain areas. I mean, certainly in the southeast and northwest, there's loads of space in those. And you don't necessarily have to leave it as desert either. I mean, you could quite literally. I take it off there. You could grab your trusty paintbrush. Wow, actually, the colour that tundra goes in comparison to the grass here looks almost blue, doesn't it? Yeah, it's kind of one of those daft things as well because, I mean, people are trying to claim space here, there, and everywhere. And the whole thing's going to reset by the end of the month anyway. So, you know. I mean, I'm only here now, so I don't drive myself mad in a month. Oops! I had the grass selected. That actually looks kind of nuts when you place it as a block. How weird is that? Kind of look, someone who's far smarter than me. What's the green material they used to make a lot of the Egyptian statues out of? Or the Egyptian style statues. The name of it's on the tip of my tongue. Someone very smart is going to tell me in about 20 seconds. I hope. Either that or everyone's just going to go, oh yeah, yeah. The one thing, kind of going back to that, the one thing I would say about if you're going to start going about colouring and shaping, certainly for effectively painting the landscape, don't use anything apart from the single voxel. It'll probably take you a little while longer to do it, but it'll still have the same effect in terms of what you can see, but you won't use up about 20 billion amounts of material. I mean, I was doing that last night, which was the last thing I was building on that desert build before I had enough of it. Was yes, thank you, blood. I knew it was something. But that's the name was just eluding me. You'll still see the same effect because effectively the ground level, you'll only ever see one voxel anyway, unless you start digging into it. So it will take you a little bit longer to physically paint it, but you'll use up hardly any material at all. So it's just a matter of patience. Yeesh. I must have scaled this tree back when I initially planted it, because that looks massive. Yes, I would have made it about that size. Is that wrong that I'm using the fact that I can clip it when I'm standing on here again, that I've got it in more or less the same place? Ooh. Hello, Air Walken. You come to claim your moment of fame. You're popping in and out of my existence, though. Are you actually moving around, or are you just disappearing on me? Oh, you're moving around. Apparently that's a bug as well, because when they had the issue during the live stream, when people and props and stuff were disappearing when he was in game, he was using some sort of dev command to force everything to show. So it must be some sort of loading issue in an area, and they can clearly get around it by using a dev command. Boo hiss. Give me the dev hacks. But yeah, I kind of like doing that with some of like the different rocks and ground textures, because they kind of, at least when you apply them to a square block, sometimes they can kind of make quite a nice material. But yeah, I say that knowing that it'll probably get changed as well. The bug spot. I mentioned this bit here earlier on in the day. If I just wander over to it. Sorry, I was just getting a very quick drink there. Now, this is where the healing of the world has seemingly gone a little bit skew-if. Because if anyone was here earlier in the day, they would have noticed that this, in terms of what's in front of me, was smashed beautifully into bits by myself. I got a little bit over the top with my pick and basically started bashing a big hole in here. However, because of the random bug that's in the game right now, the shape that's been left here is actually getting healed back up over and over and over and over again. So, a challenge to all you who are listening to my voice. Come down here with a load of dynamite, blow the thing to hell. You know, just to see some building destruction. Because you can't do it normally. However, you should just be able to blow this up. Because as far as the game's concerned, as you can see, it just thinks it's bog standard material. It's just open world. So there should be literally nothing stopping you from blowing it up. Ah. Vulcan's appeared. Do you have any TNT on you? Got any dynamite? You know, I've put the block up on there to keep our guild chat private. My God. You lot are bloody awful at times. See, I'm trying to wonder whether this tree was originally here before the claim, and so is now trying to reclaim the space back. This massive tree. Kind of like this actually, some of the little shapes and stuff this guy made. Oh look, he's even got like a fancy set of stairs and stuff he would have built in here. Ooh, that's neat. Kind of a... yeah. Nice archway, man. The man of 1,000 arches approves. These things are really quite neat. You could put like some plants and stuff in them to be fancy sort of layer. But yeah, it just seems very bizarre that the game's doing this right now. I'm not sure whether it if they fix the bug with it, whether it'll suddenly disappear properly, or whether you would still have to come in and effectively demolish it yourself. But I was saying this the other day as well. Would you like things to just kind of vanish if someone kind of pulls a claim up and leaves, or if, say, the upkeep lapses on it? Or would it be better to kind of have it essentially what this is and just demolish it? If someone wants to go and blow that up, they can be my guest. I don't think it's going to do any harm. Yeah, I'm just going to effectively just finish off this particular build, like putting a couple more pillars, probably putting a little bit more of a landscape effect. Probably make some sort of path between these two buildings, and then finish it off. So I've probably got another half hour or so left on the stream. So we're going to be here for a little while, yeah. See you, blood. Thanks for hanging out. Sounds like a sort of gangster sort of way to say bye. Worth me putting a bit of a column on the end here. It is technically off the ground. Yeah, we'll place one. Funny how I was saying when I was building this, it was like I was trying to build it almost flat, and there's probably more of it off the actual flat part than there is that flat corner at the end there. Ah well. Now, is this the slightly darker one? This is the new tundra dirt rather than normal dirt. Kind of like dirt premium. Yes, it's the one that's designed to match the snow. Get rid of that. That's the one. But yeah, with this you can use the bigger voxel brush to effectively paint the ground faster, but then you'll use up a monumentally massive amount of material. One of the pieces of feedback I put on the forums is I would really love it where you could kind of use a bigger size but on a flat plane. So you would just kind of use it as effectively a single voxel deep brush, but you wouldn't have to kind of use something that big. So it's like you can kind of see where, and it's hardly even coming out the ground at this point, but that would use a massive chunk of material just to kind of make that a little bit faster. So yeah, there's little things like that I would quite like. Really, really annoying with the props blinking in and out of visibility. Yeah. In theory, props should persist. They should. A lot of it depends on what's around the area. Like this particular stuff, it'll disappear if I paint over it because it's not what spawns there by default. So like these bits here, like those sort of things will well, in theory, should persist if I paint on them. Anything smaller would probably disappear as I paint away. But yeah, the sort of area I'm going to aim for here, it won't be a straight path, it'll probably wander a little. But I kind of want to go along towards where the tree is, the very large tree is here, and then kind of swing around the right hand side of it and then go up towards where the top part of the other little building is over there. But yeah, the actual the game engine is creating a lot of this itself for me, so I'm not actually I'm not painting the entire floor, so to speak. It's working out a lot of that for me and kind of filling in the gaps, so to speak, which is nice of it. This is only the first part of this too. There's the slightly stony stuff as well, which is further up towards this other bit, which I'll actually use on the bottom part of it. And then I'll probably actually use a little bit of the darker colour as well to kind of put a bit of an edge to it. You can kind of go nuts with this. You can just kind of, again, you can just kind of keep on doing whatever the heck you want. Just kind of get the sort of shape you're after. Just trying to make this edge where there was the sort of rocky template already. I'm just trying to give it a little bit more of a harder edge to it. Just so it's kind of coming right up to the edge here rather than having the grass template coming through. I was trying to figure out what's making that flickering effect, and it's like, oh yeah, I do actually have a flag on top of it. Oh yeah. Yeah, doing this stuff is where you do have to be a little bit more patient with what you're doing. Because now I'm only really painting a very small area. This is me just being a little bit lazy because I've got mountains of stone. Lot of teeny tiny detail, all to make a little path. was going to see if I could make a really small rail. Kind of do like a sort of little sort of edge to the path as a little sort of rail along here. But it doesn't really want to create a little uniform shape there. So I'll do it with plants and stuff. Oh, it's nice when Twitch updates in real time. Apparently there's 15 of you watching. I don't know whether that's accurate or not, but hello. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's some sort of event or something going on somewhere. But Twitch hasn't been... It streams perfectly fine, so I'm not actually dropping off any detail on the stream, at least as far as I'm aware. But I'm not getting up-to-date information over who's in chat, how many people are in chat, and that side of things. Unless you start typing in chat. At which point, hello anyway. I didn't realise I had that many of those dead logs already. Yeah, I was just typing something in chat then. It's if there's people who aren't in the guild, we have a guild crest. One of our members, and I'm always going to keep quoting him, Tier 9, who made it. Who made the crest in game even. I made the original. But one of the things I would really like to have is very similar to how the Trailblazer flag is just there. Well, actually no, that's a Explorer one, that. But essentially very similar to how you get those sort of flags in game right now. I would really like it if they would give you the option through Player Studio or something similar to be able to create your own flags like that. Just because it would kind of be like a neat little thing to have for the guild. If I'd known I'd had so many of those dead stumps already, I wouldn't have made so many more. But yeah, this was kind of what I was talking about earlier, in that rather than leaving ugly looking sort of blending issues and stuff, which will probably get sorted anyway at some point, but you can just kind of use the plants and stuff like that to kind of hide those edges, so it doesn't really get in the way. It creates a nice sort of effect because you've got like a half decent little fern. It has the little butterflies as well, so you kind of you're not kind of drawn to the issue as such. It kind of distracts you from it. Butterfly overload. Yeah, I'm pretty much just placing down the last few little bits and pieces around for now. Yeah, I mean, we've got an awful lot of plant life even to choose from right now. A lot of the animals and stuff like that are more probably going to come along once they actually get some sort of combat system in. Because a lot of people are calling for just the option to tame those, which is a nice idea. The one thing I will say with the developers is they've kind of gone they've gone really to town with something with butterflies. I will say about the animals and stuff there as well is that I could probably guess a revolt would be on your hands if you didn't give half our guild members the option to have dogs as well as cats. Because one person started doing it and it's kind of escalated from there, but half of our guild gallery is full of pets now. Yep. Anyway, I'm going to call it there for now. Oh, just as someone else has turned up. Hello and goodbye. Sorry, man. I've had the stream running for quite a while now, so I'm essentially going to be shutting it off and probably taking a break. I certainly will be streaming later on in the week. I don't know whether I will again tonight. Only really because after this sort of time, you tend to get swamped by US streamers. So I tend to kind of stop early to mid-evening time in Europe. I probably would say the best option is usually to make sure you follow, because you'll usually get notifications for when I go live. I am going to start organising with the rest of the guild as well, because we do have quite a few streamers in the guild already who already do stuff on their own channels, but the idea is to kind of have a sort of set schedule for when you'll be able to see people doing different builds. I might start organising with guys where I'll be able to either A, switch between people doing builds at the same time, or even kind of either split screen them or give people the option to jump between different cameras on the stream and things like that. So we do have a lot of things like that planned further down the line. But we're kind of putting a hold on it just while, for one, the game is still in an early state, and for two, it's a lot of seeing what people are comfortable with streaming between themselves. So yeah, it's pretty much a wait and see. Anyway guys, I would like to thank you for watching, because I have been rattling on for a while. As always, you can go to our website, which will pretty much have all these details on them anyway. It tends to be the first point of call. But if not, Facebook, Twitter, I'm always on there as well, because I'm usually nattering with the devs and other guild members. Obviously, you're right here now on our Twitch channel, and you can generally get little clips of me if I clean them up. The only bit that's a little bit unique, which I don't always put on here, is we put a lot of the guides and the guild showcases and things like that on our YouTube channel, because it's a little bit easier to organise it on there. The only time I make that a little bit different is some people have quite liked me to live stream when I'm filming a guide video, so you can kind of see like a very big raw uncut version of it. But yeah, we may or may not do more of those between Twitch and YouTube further down the line. Either way, make sure to grab hold of us. So yeah, have a good one guys, and I'll see you again soon.